The Iliad is an ancient Greek epic poem attributed to Homer, set during the final year of the Trojan War. It explores themes of heroism, honor, wrath, and fate, and centers on the conflict between the Greeks, Achaeans, and the Trojans. Here is a detailed summary. Book 1, The Quarrel. The story begins with the Greek army besieging Troy. Agamemnon, the Greek commander, takes Chryseis, the daughter of a priest of Apollo, as a war prize. Her father, Chryses, pleads for her return, but Agamemnon refuses. Apollo, angered by this disrespect, sends a plague upon the Greeks. Achilles, the greatest Greek warrior, calls an assembly to address the plague. The seer Calchas reveals that Chryseis must be returned to stop the plague. Agamemnon agrees but demands Achilles' prize Briseis in return. Achilles, insulted and furious, withdraws from the fighting and prays to his mother Thetis to ask Zeus to help the Trojans. Book 2, The Duel and the Great Gathering of Armies. Zeus sends a deceptive dream to Agamemnon, urging him to attack Troy. Agamemnon tests the resolve of his troops by suggesting they return home. When they eagerly agree, Odysseus rallies them back. A detailed catalogue of the Greek and Trojan forces follows. The armies prepare for battle. Books 3, 4. The Duel of Paris and Menelaus. Paris, the Trojan prince whose abduction of Helen sparked the war, challenges any Greek to a duel. Menelaus, Helen's husband, accepts. The duel is inconclusive as Aphrodite saves Paris. A temporary truce is agreed upon, but it is broken by the Trojans. The battle resumes. Books 5, 8. The battle rages. Diomedes, aided by Athena, has an Aristia, a moment of greatest prowess, and wounds Aphrodite and Ares. The gods become more involved in the battle, taking sides. Hector leads the Trojans, and the Greeks are pushed back to their ships. Zeus decrees that the Trojans will have the upper hand for now. Book 9. The embassy to Achilles. The Greeks, desperate, send an embassy, including Odysseus, Phoenix, and Ajax, to persuade Achilles to return. They offer rich gifts and Briseis, but Achilles refuses, still resentful of Agamemnon's insult. Books 10, 15. The night raid and continued battle. Odysseus and Diomedes conduct a successful night raid, killing the Trojan spy Dolon and the Thracian king Chryses. The battle continues fiercely. Hector and the Trojans breach the Greek wall and reach the ships, threatening to burn them. The Greek hero Patroclus, Achilles' close friend, is deeply troubled by the Greek losses. Book 16. The death of Patroclus. Patroclus, wearing Achilles' armor, leads the Myrmidons into battle, turning the tide. He kills many Trojans, including Zeus's son Sarpedon, but is ultimately slain by Hector. His death is a pivotal moment, spurring Achilles to rejoin the fight. Book 17, 18. Achilles' return. Achilles is devastated by Patroclus's death. He reconciles with Agamemnon, who returns Briseis and offers gifts. Thetis, Achilles' mother, commissions the god Hephaestus to forge new armor for him. Achilles swears vengeance on Hector. Book 19, 22. The Vengeance of Achilles. Achilles returns to battle, unstoppable in his rage. He kills numerous Trojans and finally confronts Hector. After a dramatic chase around the walls of Troy, Achilles kills Hector and desecrates his body by dragging it behind his chariot. Priam, Hector's father, laments his son's death. Book 23. The Funeral Games. Achilles holds funeral games in honor of Patroclus, including chariot races, boxing, and wrestling. These games highlight the themes of honor and glory central to the Greek heroic code. Book 24. The ransom of Hector. King Priam, guided by Hermes, enters the Greek camp at night to ransom Hector's body. He appeals to Achilles' sense of compassion and shared grief. Moved by Priam's plea and reminded of his own father, Achilles agrees to return Hector's body. The epic ends with Hector's funeral, a moment of temporary peace and reflection.